It's time, baby. Good morning and welcome back to the channel. We're back from Japan, we're back from Texas, and we are right back to work. If you guys saw in the last major update video on the E46, we got all new panels for it, and I believe the last video you saw it all stripped apart. I didn't want to bore you with my OCD of fitting every panel as perfect as possible, but we did get it all roughly mocked up so that when we go to reads in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it'll make it much easier for us to film the whole process. I do want to show, which I am pretty proud of, my little bumper brackets I made to hold the rear bumper on, almost like the back of the car's factory. And I was able to source used OEM fenders, hood, doors, everything for the car, on top of putting the front over fenders on, roughly mounting the front bumper, side skirts, etc. Not to bore you guys too much with the E36 because it is finally time to get back to work on the E46 Pro car. Should stop using the word pro car because I don't ever plan on competing in Formula Drift, but I want to build this car to the caliber of a pro level car in case we ever need it. And if that gives you any hint to what's inside the box, you're one step ahead. Really quick, since I'm so horrible at posting videos, Tire Streets did a huge sale over Black Friday, but they still have a crazy discount. I'll leave the link down below and right here until the end of the year. Whatever stock didn't get bought during Black Friday, they are still getting rid of the rest of their inventory so they can start fresh for the next year. And it looks like I need some new tires as well. I'm pretty much out. Another thing, my buddy Mark, Mr. Twin Turbo Stang, and I made these wall tire racks, which they've been in the background of a few videos. We are planning on offering to you guys. We want to get them all painted or powder coated. We haven't figured it out yet, but we made a small batch of them. Unfortunately, they are not going to be cheap, but they are CNC laser cut and CNC bent, TIG welded. They're the freaking bee's knees. My biggest issue was all the other wall mount solutions are so cheap and chintzy, and even the nice ones I have over here are piles of junk. So we wanted to make a solution that I knew would be best for myself, and I'm hoping that, you know, even though they're gonna be a little bit of money, will be a good solution for you guys as well. Now that I got that whole rant out of the way, let's figure out how we're gonna get that car over there, where the hell we're gonna put that thing. And this needs to stay on the lift because I found a coolant leak under the intake manifold. Yay. It has been a long time since this car started. Let's see. Come on, baby. Yeah! She never lets me down! This car blows my, oh, I don't have mirrors. Oh, the car's still apart because it is getting completely torn down to get painted. Do some more welding fabrication down at Reed's, but let's get this thing moved out of the garage, get everything else moved so we can get the E46 over into the bodywork bay. Now that this is over with, got everything moved around, E46 is back in the chopping block. Let me let the heat catch back up in here and we'll get this entire body kit out, laid out on the ground so we can see what we got. An absolute disaster. I didn't realize how big everything was. That sounds stupid, but pulling them up out of the box was a pain in the butt. Anyway, we got, in my opinion, the best kit for the E46. We ended up with the full 2F performance catalog for the E46 Coupe, which includes the entire rear clamshell, that has the lower trunk piece, the taillight pockets, similar to what we did on the E36, which is a complete fiberglass rear replacement for the car. And it might sound dumb to some of you, which is completely understandable, but with these drift cars, we unfortunately crash a lot. So having something in the back that will absorb the wall or another car is much better than having metal in the back. Hopefully it'll just damage that part and not the entire car. Along with their rear clamshell, we have their fiberglass trunk, which has a ton of flexibility, their side skirts, their front and rear bumper. I met Paco and the team at 2F this spring when I was out in Phoenix for the NASCAR race. Stopped by their shop and fell in love. So super grateful to be working with them. I'm super grateful to have their support on the E46, and I can't wait to get this stuff on the car. Really quickly, can we just talk about the details and the quality of this stuff? The thing I like the most is that, I don't know what they do with the fiberglass, but it has so much give in it, which is massive for drifting. You don't want this stuff to crack as soon as you touch a wall. So it's freaking awesome that this stuff has so much flexibility and give. All right, let's run and get all of our hairs cut. We'll get back here and get to work. As I'm walking out the door, I realized I never even showed you guys the new engine in the car. And it's because it's just sitting in the engine bay. It's not some big extravagant reveal. So once we actually start to put some parts on the car and make this thing permanent, that's when we'll have the video out. The best thing to do is gonna be to get the quarter panel on. That will kind of set everything else up for success. To do a little bit of trimming for this, but should be good to go. Let's get this thing knocked out, thrown on, clean coat in, see how it looks. Rough mock-up of the first quarter panel. I can't believe it looks like a freaking car already. This is so sick. It also shows you how freaking high the suspension is right now. Since this is roughly mocked up, I have an idea of what I need to cut for that one. So let's get back to work, get this side on so we can mate them two in the middle, get the trunk put on, then we can do front end side skirts. We got a lot of work to do. And I don't know why fiberglass stuff just comes in waves, but I feel like that's all I've been doing the past month is fiberglass work. It is what it is. We gotta have the cars look good, because if they look good, they freaking drive good, baby. You guys saw how long it took me to put this side on. I wish I knew what time I started this at, because it took about 4 minutes. Another thing that is the nicest thing I've ever seen, and I've never seen this with a body kit before, they have placement dowels on the backside of the over fenders so that you know it's exactly where it's supposed to be. So it might be a little hard to tell. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna show you. So check it. It has these little dowels so that the pieces line up perfectly. So whether you rivet the two clamshells together or you nut and bolt them, whatever you want to do, at least you know they're exactly where they should be. That made lining up both sides exponentially easier, and it's little things like that that make the biggest difference in the world, because I have no clue what I'm doing. I don't do bodywork or fiberglass. My name's not Reed Frazier, so it is what it is, but this is coming out insane. I'm obviously gonna have to make bumper brackets like I did for my E36. It looks like a car. It's freaking sick. I'm gonna pull the little brackets off I have and then place the trunk on, and then the whole back end will be roughly mocked up already. Hell yes. Yeah, I know, I'm just mocking things up, but look, it's a freaking car. Also, the gray makes the white completely blown out on camera, which, oh, there we go. It's finally focusing. Oh, I'm so excited. It's little things like this. Jimmy says it the best. A little mid-build motivation. That's all it takes. Just a little bit of motivation, and it'll go a freaking long way. I don't even want to try to mount the rear bumper right now, but I am gonna run upstairs, grab the front fenders, the front core support, get that all on so we can get the skirts, try to mock the front bumper up, etc. Progress, baby, progress. Only took 6 months, but you know what? We're back, baby. I went and grabbed the front over fenders. They're actually stock fenders with, I'm not even sure what kind of overs. Jimmy had given me these wider front fenders, but to be honest, the arch and design is gonna pair itself really well with this, so let's get them on. I keep not picking the camera up because not that much time has elapsed. Nose panel, headlights, front fenders are on. All right, I obviously need to do some work to get the front bumper to fit, but for now, I got the side skirt on, I got the wheel swapped out, put an 18 up front, so it sits much more level and looks freaking amazing. Obviously, this is a massive mock-up, so don't mind the weird fitment. The bumper is clamped on, but I just wanted to get an idea of how everything fit, how much work I needed to do, and it doesn't look like I need to do much at all. It's nice getting a body kit that fits, because typically doing a ton of sanding, a ton of massaging, but this thing out of the box fit very, very well. And it's like 8 o'clock at night, and I would like to clean the garage as well because I don't want to come home to a messy garage. So let's get this thing all mocked up, get some nice shots of it, and clean the garage so we can come home and get right back to work on this thing. We have fire suppression, mount the seat. We have so much work to do on this car because we are driving it in 2025, I promise you. Promise myself, truthfully. We're gonna drive this freaking thing. Good morning and welcome back to the video. Last night, after I put the camera down, I ended up putting the original doors, hood, and bumper on that I had for the car, just because I wanted to see the whole thing together, and god dang, does it look freaking sick. Take a look at this. It's freaking unbelievable. It's actually a freaking car. So right now we have the factory M3 front bumper on, some sort of front over fenders, which I still need to cut out the factory metal fenders for, and some cheap aftermarket vented hood, but I love the look. I think it looks freaking mean, and I'm excited to see it all in one color. Basically what I'm thinking is doing everything in the same shade of white that the chassis is powder coated in, so that we have a nice base color, whether we wrap the whole car or not. I just wanna have everything the same color, so I think that's gonna be the best plan of attack. The entire back end's on. I have the skirts loosely mocked up. I have the fiberglass door on this side at least, which we have to do some trimming and put latches in and handles, etc. But like I said, this is a necessary step in order to figure out what we need to buy for fasteners, mounts, hardware, etc. So I am extremely happy that we did this. Let me get some B-roll for you guys. This is what I needed. This is what my brain needed to do. I'm so freaking happy. We are full steam ahead on the E46 to get it done for 2025. Good morning and welcome back to the most exciting video in the freaking world. This past weekend, a few of my friends came over and we got a bunch of small tedious stuff done, which I want to go over with you guys, but we have to make a phone call first. Nate, Happy New Year.
Dude, I was just putting a cool shirt on the lobby.
Oh, I love it, dude. Look at how good that place looks. What's up, Indy? A couple weeks ago, I redid the whole E46, and what I've been doing is giving parts to my friends for them to hang on their wall in their shop from the E36. First thing, I want to send you something to hang in your shop, but when I was thinking that, I was thinking how cool it would be if I sent down a few pieces that we could add into orders for the next, like, week, maybe?
Yep. Yeah. Can you just run it like little 4x4 squares or 3x3 squares?
Yeah, I can do. I can cut them on the bandsaw, and then we can just throw them into orders.
Dude,
so
then you gotta send me like that over fender so I can put it up on this wall.
Okay, yeah, the over fender's yours.
And I can put your gear underneath it.
Okay, so what we're gonna do, let's do, for the next week, it's the 30th, so let's do until the 7th. If you buy any Anderson Racing merch or Anderson Racing with 144 merch, but you have to buy Anderson Racing merch. If you buy Anderson Racing merch, there'll be, you know, a few random pieces thrown in with a hat, t-shirt, whatever. Is that good?
Go, dude. Let's do it.
Sweet. All right, man. I'll talk to you. Thanks, Nate.
All right, guys. See you later, dude.
Okay, that was pretty cool. I kind of put Nate on the spot there. Didn't even tell him I was calling him. Massive shout out to 144. We still have a handful of these 33 flame caps. They're my favorite. 5-panel, really nice material. We have a bunch of shirts on the site, a bunch of sweatshirts. So link right here, link down below, 144. We're gonna cut up the side skirt, the fenders, maybe even cut up a door and send it out. But figured it'd be cool for you guys, along with my friends, to have a piece of history from my first drift car. And that thing's gonna be freaking sick when it's all finished. So thank you, 144racing.com. Go take a look at everything we have on the site, and more to come. Since the last update I filmed with the car, my buddy Charlie came over and we did OEM door handles and door latches in the fiberglass doors. Might not sound like a big deal, but this one door alone took us like 2 hours to trim properly, get everything cut out, get all the holes drilled for the hardware. But there is no better feeling in the world, because watch this. So good. Latched, good to go. We got the OMP seat mounted exactly where I need to be in the car. We got the column at the right angle. Let me hop in so you guys can see this. The lower pad, so good in this car. And since we did an aftermarket steering column, because we don't have to abide by the Formula Drift Pro Spec rules, which require a factory steering column, I was able to get the steering wheel exactly where I wanted, height-wise, closeness-wise to myself, and the correct angle. So super stoked. Got to get the pedals in, get all the brake system put in. But we're making massive progress on this. And having a working door, especially a fiberglass door, is such a huge milestone for me. So today, off camera, I'm gonna get the other door cut, put on, and we should be good to go. Also, like I said, I'm gonna be painting all of the fiberglass just as a good base, but the inside of these panels is kind of lackluster, I guess you could say. And I'm curious what your thought is on what I should do with this, whether I should scuff it, sand it, and paint it. I obviously don't want to leave it like this, but the issue is things like this. The inside is really rough in some spots. So if you have any recommendations on what I should do to eliminate this problem, let me know down below. Any help is appreciated. And I think my buddy Adam just got here, so let's see what he thinks about the car. On top of getting the door, column, and seat all done, we got the side skirts mounted up and trimmed, along with the hood mounted up, the fenders mounted up, still need to trim those. Quarter panel and bumper mounted permanently with some nice brackets. I trimmed the back section for the crash bar to go through. We got the quick latch mounts all put on. I could not be happier. This is the progress that I needed to make for myself to start getting parts rolling for this car again, to start setting up times for people to come help me get this thing finished so we could drive this car this year, because this is my most important goal for the next 2 to 3 months, is to get this car done. So I hope you like it, because we got a lot of stuff to do on it, and I'm gonna bring you guys along. We still need to put the door handle and latch in, but side skirt's all mounted up. Got some quick latches on order. As soon as all the panels are final mounted, we're gonna pull them all off, get them all painted, and get them put on for good. I think that's gonna be it for this video. Massive update on the E46. Stoked to bring you guys along through the whole process, and I'm even more stoked that I'm actually working on this car for once. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit 144racing.com to get a piece of the E46 history. All right, see you guys in a few days. Goodbye.